The unemployment numbers are out this morning, and U.S. employers added only 80,000 jobs in June. This is the third straight month of weak hiring, and that shows the economy is still struggling. The Labor Department says the unemployment rate was unchanged at 8.2%. Now, joining us this morning is Carl Bonham. He's the Executive Director of the University of Hawaii Economic Research Organization. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So you looked at the entire report. What else is in there that is definitely notable?
Well, you mentioned the most notable. This is another very weak report. It's even below the weak expectations, which were about 90,000 jobs. Put all together, the second quarter of the year was one of the worst quarters of job growth we've seen in several years. And the few sectors, one of the interesting things was we actually saw construction jobs up a little bit.
And that's been the sluggish part in the economy.
Right, and that's actually one of the sort of bright spots in the economy now, is that it's still sluggish, but we are seeing growth in construction of residential properties, both single-family and multifamily homes across the whole country.
And there are some other sectors that actually did pretty well.
Business services, professional and business services, a large sector, added almost 50,000 jobs. Almost half of that was in temporary help. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It still tells you that the economy is sort of in recovery mode, but hasn't broken out of that, which is obvious with only 80,000 jobs added.
It's interesting, as soon as this report came out, both sides of the presidential race just went at it. And, this is going to be providing a lot of fodder moving up to the presidential election on both sides. The president saying that, the recovery is going to take a long time, whereas Mitt Romney saying that something needs to be done right now for change. So who do you think is really to blame for these sickly numbers?
Well, both sides have it right. The president is absolutely right that it's going to take a long time. We went through a bubble, housing bubble. We went through a financial crisis. Recoveries from these types of events, globally synchronized financial crises, take a very long time. There's not a whole lot that anybody can do right at this moment in terms of presidential decision making. The current administration is doing some positive things, continuing to pressure Europe. If we could get Europe to get their act together, it would make a huge difference. One thing that they could do is actually get the HARP program, which is refinancing of people's homes that are underwater. That could make a difference. But in 4 months, nothing is going to make a big difference. We did a blog post on UHERO this morning on UHERO's website that talked about really the people who need to step up is the Fed. And I think we'll see something when they meet at the end of this month. All
right. Well, Carl Bonham, thank you so much for joining us. I know a lot of the economists are weighing in this morning, so we'll definitely hear more about that in the coming days. We really appreciate it. And we'll see Carl Bonham next Friday and find out what the economists at UHERO are tracking by going to their Facebook page. You can also find a link to their website on the And Seen On section of KITV.com. It is 6:39. We'll be right back.